on this computer. All right. I did it! Okay.
Yay!
Thank you all for being here. This is the Team Kid call. This is March 4th, 2020. And I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about attraction marketing. Not only recruiting and like what happens when somebody's interested, but also like how to attract people to you that start asking you questions rather than having to ask them if they want to join. I also want to have Lisa, her name on Facebook is Lisa Go, right? Or no, your name in the system is Lisa Go. So everything says Lisa Go, but
yeah,
Lisa Dewey on Facebook. But I'm gonna have her share a couple things that she does. I'm muting everyone, and I'll try and keep up with that as the night goes on. But real quick, I just wanted, I was showing these before, and I just want to kind of show them again so that whoever watches, these are the sets that you'll get if you BQ before the 5th. You'll get put in a drawing, and then whoever doesn't win the drawing will just automatically get a free set from me when the sets come out. Another thing I wanted to mention, I got these 3 sets. I got Coming Up Rose Gold, Dripping in Diamonds, and Tokyo Lights for going on our app and doing the training. I only have done, I think, the first level of training, and I already got 3 sets. Like, that's really good. So definitely be going in. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. Go in and do the training so that you can start getting your free sets. They have some samples. They have other kinds of things in there, but I figured the most practical thing for me would be sets. So if you don't have the app, definitely go download it. I think you just type in Color Street Stylist on iPhone or Android, and you should be able to get it. Let me see. I'm gonna just real quickly find who is in the running for those sets. I just want to announce that quick. Since we are the day before, you have until tomorrow night to bonus qualify. But let me just see who's there so far. A lot of cool things going on. People are getting their jump starts, all kinds of fun things. All right, so Lauren Walsh is right now the #1 in sales. She's at 617. She's in, that's Lauren Lynn. She's the one that got director last month. Carrie Kukin, she's at 463. She's 2nd in sales right now. Nice job, Carrie. Mindy Toronto is 3rd, so she's at 462. Marge Lepiscopo is at 423. Michelle Reed Miller, she's at 375. Vanessa Sorrentino, she's at 365. I'm in there, but I'm not going to throw myself in the hat, so don't worry about that. And Emily Boscovich, hopefully I didn't butcher that, is the last one on the list. So she's at 353. So we have 2 that are above 200. Tasha Lee Ryerson, she's at 201, and Tammy Kamazato, she's at 218. So you guys are really close. And there's actually Rachel Younggreen's at 195, so she's really close too. You guys can get it. I mean, start reaching out to your people and kind of pushing the sales a little bit. Okay, so congratulations to all those that are in it. I'm gonna come live. It'll be tomorrow at midnight, so I'm not gonna go live at midnight. I mean, I'll probably still be up anyway because I'll be watching, but I won't go live at midnight because you'll all be sleeping. But I'll go live the following day, probably in the evening sometime when I can get some people watching to talk about that. So, all right, to the meat of the call. So what I just kind of want to share what I've been doing. I don't have like this whole elaborate plan for a call because I just kind of like, I feel like I know what I'm doing to the point where like I don't really feel like I need to like set everything up. So I'm just going to kind of go into what I do on a normal basis and share with you some tips and tricks. So when I am, we'll start with the post writing. So when I'm writing a post, I don't know if you guys were on the call last night, but Christy was talking about the 5 love languages. There's a lot of different things, and there's a lot of different ways that you can reach out to people. The love languages are a really good way to reach out to the people that are kind of like, they're kind of needing something to be filled up in their life. So that's her way of doing it. Like there's different ways and I do it a different way. I'm not saying that that's the wrong way, and I really like what they're doing with that. But I think the way that I formulate my posts, I know I've gone over this with a couple of you, is I go in with an objection. Like I start thinking about, hi Danielle. Hi baby. Okay. So I go in starting with an objection, and I have like all of these posts laid out in Trello. That's kind of why I really wanted like people to understand Trello when they were coming in, because it's a really good way to keep your posts and kind of just keep adding to them. Because what I have is a list that says, I don't have enough money. I have another list that says, I don't have enough time. I have another list that says, like, that kind of goes into the different things that I've gotten through working with Color Street, like, you know, the deck and vacation and all kinds of stuff. And that is part of the love language thing. So it kind of, but the way that I do it is I want people to read my post, and I want them to immediately discount that objection that they had. So you notice that people kind of tune in when, and I found this from a friend of mine, they tune in when that is the objection that they had. So when a friend of mine, she does It Works actually, and I for a little bit was buying from her. So a lot of her posts would come up, and I was like just watching her posts, and she was doing a lot of that. She would put the objection right at the top, like just saying, I don't have enough money or whatever. Like, I'm not saying you have to do that. You can kind of like work it in. But it made me think like that's a really great way to just kind of let people push that aside and come at me with another objection or just sign up. I feel like there's, once they're interested enough, they're gonna read those posts. Like I can think of certain people that had joined me last month that were liking all of those posts that I was doing. And I noticed that when we talked, that wasn't really something that they brought to me as an objection. So if you're immediately covering what you would say to them about that objection, they're not wondering. They're not going to come at you with that. So I think that there's a lot of, with multi-level marketing, there's a lot of people just think it's like this pyramid scheme and you're not going to make any money, you know? And I think when we come into this quote unquote pyramid scheme, there's a lot of nervousness to ask people and to reach out to people because of that. So you know that you're here and you're making money. You know that this is not a scheme. Like, we are here and we're building businesses and we're, you know, hitting goal after goal. And these goals that Color Street sets out for us are so easy to attain. Like, if you really just consistently do the work, they're easy to get. So coming from that mindset, you can go to your friends and be like, listen, like, you can do this. Like, and you don't have to feel like you're doing something wrong, because you're literally handing them a key to something that is so great. Like, I never feel as though I am like pulling somebody into something that they probably wouldn't be good at, or probably they wouldn't really like it, you know, down the road. Like, I never feel that way, because I know that I love it. So why wouldn't somebody else love it? It's just like the product. It's just like when you're selling the product. You know that you love the product, so it's easy for you to sell the product. And maybe you're having a little like trouble kind of like with consistency or something like that. Maybe that is the reason that you're not reaching out and you're not feeling comfortable talking to people. Just know that not everybody is like you. So there are so many people out there that are like hungry and they want to do this, and they are going to be able to be consistent, and they are going to like build this business. Even if you don't build a huge business, you could have somebody under you that does. Like, it does happen. So anyway, give me one second. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about anything before I move on? Lisa, you want to jump in real quick and give us some tips, like, because you signed 3.
Yeah, this month, and I have another one that's kind of hanging out there right now, so
Okay.
I'm working on it.
What do you kind of do, like attraction marketing, or are you like reaching out? How's that working?
So it's been a mixture. It's been a matter of putting, like you were saying, you know, the possible contentions that people could have out there. I've been putting them in my VIP. Like, I don't have the time. Well, you don't have 30 minutes to yourself, you know, that you can find at the end of the day after you put the kids down, or, you know, I don't have the funds to start, you know, straight out of the gate dropping $129. Well, you would make that right back, you know, is I literally cite, you know, my situation was I made it back within 4 days. So realistically, you can't come off of it for 4 days to make yourself an income from week to week that literally, and I've explained this to them. I'm like, literally, I can go each week and be like, oh, hey, look, you know what? I got $100 to go towards my phone bill now. Or I've got $100 where I can buy myself a bunch of nails and feed my habit has been my biggest thing. Like, hey, I got you addicted. I'm sorry. Let me help you out and get some money in your pocket and get you free stuff. Wouldn't that be awesome? So that's kind of the tack that I've taken with them. And it's just been, I haven't, and maybe this is a no-no to everybody else, but this is what's working for me. I'm not trying to get every single guest that's been in a nail bar to sign on. I'm honing in on those that have been very attentive, very communicative, commenting, ordering, and honing in on them, and then going, hey girl, I noticed you really like this stuff. Let's have a conversation real quick. And then I will start with like, you know, I think you'd make a great stylist. Your personality, like you've got a great personality for it. You love the product, obviously. So why not explore this and fund your habit? That way you don't have anybody complaining that you're spending, you know, $60 a week on nails. I mean, you spend that in one trip to the salon, but why not make that in a week plus get all your free stuff? So it's kind of been that tack that I've taken where it's like a realistic approach. Like, hey, I've never done direct sales. I've had people try to sign me up to sell Scentsy and Avon and Mary Kay and all of it. And I've never jumped on board. This I did because I believed in it. It didn't take any arm twisting. It just took a quick conversation and me going, yeah, I do want to do that. Yeah, I do want to fund my habit. Yeah, I want to have extra cash in my pocket. So I think being real and just answering the questions that they have had, but also approaching those people that have been more interactive has been crucial to me signing people on. And I'm not going to say my first recruit, she came to me. She was somebody that I knew. She said, hey, I've been thinking about this since your nail bar started. Give me some info. I gave her the info. And then she's like, yep, I'm going to do it. And she has been killing it month after month. Not all of them are going to come like that. My other ones I had to work for, and they were just guests that I found in other nail bars. And, you know, like I said, I noticed that their actions, and they were ordering twice during a nail bar. And it's, you know, those are the people to hone in on, and then have them jump into your VIP so they can stay in contact with you. And then after that nail bar closes, go, hey, by the way, that's when I do it, is after the nail bar closes. And then I contact them directly and say, have you thought about this? Because I think you'd be great at it. And then I honestly, with objections, like you were saying, there's always something to rebuttal back, because you know it, because you experience it. You know what it's like. You have those fears. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Actually, no, we know it's not. Oh, I'm not going to make any money. Actually, yeah, you will. I made money my first weekend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's rebuking all those things. And then they see, you know, once you start answering these questions, they see the real reality of it, and that they can turn this into a business.
Mm-hmm.
They can turn it into an income. Hey, maybe I can work, you know, part-time now, or maybe I can eventually quit my job, or maybe I'll just work it for the fun of it and make a few extra dollars.
Yeah.
That's the tack that I'm taking that seems to be working. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
And you honed in on something that I didn't mention, which is I don't reach out to every person in a nail bar and ask them if they want to do the business. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I have some sort of like back and forth relationship with them first before I do that. I know, like, for a little bit I was kind of trying what Joan did, and you know, oh gosh, okay, I was kind of trying what Joan did, and I was sending that message, that long message, and I just didn't feel good about it. So because I didn't feel good about it, it didn't work, you know? So I'm doing this, I'm getting people in the nail bar by, or in the nail bar to join my VIP group by putting, like, with the thank you, I put that, you know, I have a VIP group, I would love you to join, come on over, and, you know, you get, access to the deals and figure out like what's going on, and you kind of get to know me. So I kind of like open up the relationship that way. But then I also kind of try to, like, the early bird special in my nail bars being for like a whole weekend is really helpful, because it gets the sales there. And then what happens is the people have to communicate with me in the beginning because they are getting a free set. So I have to, you know, talk to them. So I'm opening the communication right off the bat through that. So it's not like you're starting the nail bar and nobody's talking to you. So I think that definitely getting people through nail bars is 100% what you want to do. And then also, like, your VIPs that are constantly in there and constantly talking, like, there's a way to go in and look at your top contributors. Those are the people, like, aside from the ones that are stylists that are always liking, commenting, those are the people that you want to really hone in on as well. I definitely have gone like into like past nail bars and kind of like figured out where I found certain people. Like when I look at my back office orders, and I'm kind of like really like trying to find people that I want to talk to about it, I go into their Facebook and I find out who their who their mutual friend was that we had in common. And I kind of like look at their Facebook and kind of get to know them before I reach out to them. So I think really what you want for recruiting is you want a relationship prior to asking them anything. Like, I don't recommend just going off the cuff and asking anybody. But if they are commenting in the nail bar and if they are showing nail fees and you think the nail fees are awesome and they just their energy level is good and it just feels like it would mesh with yours, then ask them. Just like, do you, how do I say it? Oh my gosh, have you ever thought of doing what I do? Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. That's the question that I always ask. Have you ever thought of doing what I do? And I never say, I almost do sometimes, but then I stop myself. Have you ever thought of selling Color Street? Because as soon as they hear selling, they're like, nope, nope, that's not me. But I have a really good objection combat to that. So have you ever thought of doing what I do sometimes makes people say, no, I'm not a salesperson. And I'm like, that's great. And I put this in one of my posts, you probably saw it. I said, that's great. That's not what your friends want anyway. They want you to take this product and share it with them. So if we come off as like we're coming alongside our friends and sharing this business with them, it's going to be a totally different feeling than if you're like, okay, I need to get people under me and, build my team. Like, just share what you've been up to and how much you're making. I mean, I don't really ever think that is a bad thing to share. Obviously, I've shared it before, but I'm going to share my screen with you right now. I want to show you something that maybe you didn't know, maybe you do. And it is on Joan's website. Let me just get there real quick. Okay. So this is Joan's website. If you've never been on it, you need to get on there and check it out. You're going to go to the partnership team, and the password is partner7, all lowercase, and the number at the end, obviously. And then go to stylist documents. Okay. What I'm showing you, since we're talking about recruiting and building a team, is the organizational charts. All my leaders on my team, I make sure that they have these charts to me at the beginning of the month. So our deadline for these charts is by the 5th. So if you want to build a team, if that's something that you're interested in and you're probably the reason that I'm doing this call right now, do me a favor and send me, I don't know what rank you're at. This has everything, but if you're just a senior stylist, if you're just a stylist right now, you're going to fill out your senior stylist one. You're going to fill out the top just with your name, and you're going to send a picture of it to me. That'll let me know that you want to build a team. I'm going to be able to be a lot more down in the lines in April. Working with specific people. I've kind of reached out to a couple of people so far, but I just don't right now have all the time in the world to reach out. But I do need to know that you want to build a team. So like I said, if you're just a BQ stylist right now, that's okay. Just put your name at the top and print it out and keep it in front of you. This is going to show you what you need. So what this tells you is for senior stylists, your personal PV, you need to be BQ'd. You need 300. Then you need to have 2 qualified legs under you. So 2 people under you that have sold 300. You need to have an accumulate volume, group volume of 2,000. So what that means is your group volume, that's like your lifetime group volume. So all of you and the 2 people under you have to all have accumulate. You have to all have adding up to 2,000, but that can be like previous months too. So say you started last month and you had 300. Then this month you have another 300, so that's 600. And then the 2 people under you have another 300. That's 900. So just like that's kind of how it goes. Like you all have to have for in that month 2,000. You need to be obviously bonus qualified, which is up at the top as well. And in the current months, you have to have at least 1,000. So that makes, I know, probably no sense because of the way that I just described what you have to have. But the 1,000 is, so you would probably have to have like 950 or 350 each. That would get you to 1,000, I think, right? Am I right? Help. Okay. Sorry, my brain just like went totally south. Like it was like over there. I don't know what just happened. Anyway, but I'm really bad with numbers. Can you tell? Okay. So the next level, if you already have hit senior stylist, or if you already have 2 people under you, what you'll send me is your team leader chart. So you're always going to be sending the chart that you don't have yet, like the amount of people that you don't have yet, so that I can see what your goal is. So if you have 2 people under you already, you're gonna just fill those 2 people in at like, say, put one here, one that you think is gonna grow, and then put one here, and then send it to me. And then we'll like, I'll teach you kind of how to work with those people. And then this shows you, you have 3 qualified legs. So this is your first one, this is your second one, and this is your third. And then if you are team leader, once you hit team leader, you're gonna fill out your director chart. So you're gonna, obviously, you can kind of figure it out from here. But print these out, like really print these out and keep them where you work. And I always suggest having, like I have mine. Once you have a lot of people under you, I have these filled out like right away at the beginning of the month so that I don't have to think about it. And I know exactly what I need, like on, I won't show who these people are, but like I know exactly what I need on this person's team. I have them all separated because once you get to, I mean, like trying for executive, it's a little crazy. So I have them all separated on separate papers, and I know that this girl needs 4 people under her. So I will, work with, that's kind of why we do the charts, is so that we know who to work with really. But so anyway, let me show you, I think I have shown this before, but there's new people on here, so I just want to show it again. This is Trello. I'm not going to tell you have to do Trello because I know this got to be like crazy. I was trying to train my new people on it and they were like, Heather, what is this? Like, they were freaking out. But this is my call out post board. So this is where I have all the posts that I'm talking about. And I literally use these all the time. Like I go in, I'm like, all right, who do I want to reach today? And I just kind of, where is it? On the bottom. And I just kind of pick one and use it. And if I think of a post that I really like, that I'm just kind of sitting there and I am in the moment and I think of a post, I write it and then I immediately save it to here. I wrote this one while I was at Leader Conference, sitting in the front row. It was awesome. But yeah, I use these posts all the time, and sometimes I'll change up the picture or whatever, but I kind of put a picture with it just so that I know kind of what I was going for. And as you can see, I don't have time, I don't have money, I want to spend free time I have with my family. I'm not good at sales. And then why? What did I put there? Oh, why? The life it gave me. Yeah, that's my business blessings post. But There are people chatting. Let me see. Oh, okay. Bye, Mom. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna come out of here. Okay, so does anybody have any specific situations that you need help with regarding, because there's, I mean, Lisa and I can probably answer some questions. I know Emily, you were one of the ones that I was talking to that kind of made me do this call. Did I answer any questions that you guys are wondering, or is there anything else that you need from me? I don't want to go too late because it's already, you know, a half an hour because I was trying to figure out stuff forever. But who has questions? Hi, Emily.
Hi.
What's up?
I'm scared to turn my phone off mute because my dogs are barking in the back.
Oh, welcome to my world. You'll probably make mine bark. So you have any questions for me or anything?
I don't think so right now. I mean, I probably will when I don't know.
When you start reaching out.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of in this weird place right now where I have like 3 people thinking about it, you know? So I'm just kind of giving them a minute to get back to me. And then
Okay.
so I got to make a plan. I'll do better if I sit down and write it out and make a plan.
Right. So that was another thing I was going to mention. I'm glad you said that. So when I'm recruiting, I have a list. I have a lead list. And I'm always like, so the first one that I have is for nail bars. And I put the booking date next to them. And then I have new connections. And then I have follow-up. This is like the book that I made for my Take 25 that I created and put in our Team Kid. But I think the last one here is for sponsoring. So I write a list of names that I want to talk to. And what I'll do is I'll go into like nail bars, I'll go into my VIP group the night before that I like, say the next day, I'm like, okay, I really have to work on sponsoring. So the night before, I will spend just going through the groups and trying to figure out who's been interacting, who's been maybe possibly interested, who have I been chatting with. I'll go into my PMs. So a lot of times I just do off the cuff, like, hey, have you ever thought of doing what I do? But there are some times where, like, I mean, I want to be in the circle of excellence. Now I've done it 2 months. I want to keep doing it the next 4 months. So I have to sit down at times and just start doing this. So what I encourage you to do, it can be very easy to stop reaching out when you have a couple of people that are interested. You're just kind of like, okay, like, yes, I have a couple people, you know, I'm good. And then maybe they don't sign up. But like there was somebody else that was sitting there waiting to be asked and you didn't ask her yet. So like I encourage you to just keep asking. Don't ever stop asking. That's like rule number 1. And the same thing with nail bars. Like if you have a couple of people that are like, they're probably going to start a nail bar soon, keep asking for nail bars to book up like the weeks after, or just literally like it's something that's another consistent action that you need to be taking. So when they talk about money making activities, those are them, like asking for nail bars and talking to people about the business. So keep asking, don't ever stop. Anyway, okay. So if there are no more questions, and if I've literally covered everything, I'm gonna let us get off this call so that you don't think, oh my God, it's a Team Kid call, it's gonna take hours. But if you guys do have questions, reach out. What do you got? Anybody? Anybody? Danielle, Libby? No. Hi, Ash.
Hey. Hey, so my question was like how to get the ladies underneath you to start recruiting.
Okay. Working with them. Like, I'm sure they're going to probably see this call. So, encourage them to watch it. And I swear, like, I try to get on every call that Joan does. Like, really encourage watching the calls that Joan does live, because even if, like, today I was on the call taking a shower and eating my lunch, like, I wanted my presence there. Like, I wanted to be there when it was happening, even if I was like running around doing things like that I wasn't like sitting down taking notes. I'm not saying that's a great thing, but I was there. Like, being present on the calls really encourages you to keep changing and like keep evolving, and doing different things. Like, when today she was talking about, she was supposed to be talking about how to build a Facebook post, and then she kind of just went into like nail bars, and I was actually really intrigued by it. Even though I already had this whole mock nail bar, now I'm like, well, now I want to try something different. And then like last night we were on that call and they did that quick nail bar that's like 8 posts. So I was like, now I really want to try something different. Like, I'm always on the calls because there's always something different to learn, and that's what got me here. Like, that's why, because I'm just constantly, consistently on every call. And I'm not saying that you have to be, because I know that's overwhelming for some people, but I am saying that if you can tune in later and if you can catch those recordings, and I really think that would be good for your girls, Ash, to start getting on the calls, because I don't know if they have been.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Hey, Ash, what is the biggest issue when it comes to talking to your girls about recruiting?
Pushback.
Pushback? So I would look at it like this, and this is just me because I myself am working on this as well. They already signed under you because they believe in the product and they believe in you. Do they not like the idea of earning more money?
They're afraid of rejection, and I've told them that they're not saying no to you. They're saying no, not right now.
Right. Right.
And I don't think they grasp that concept.
I think that's a hard one for everyone because I think even I myself struggle with the no of it. But honestly, the worst thing they're going to hear is no. Does it really, at the end of the day, are they crying? Are they upset? Like, is it really affecting them that hard? Like, you tried. Now it's going to teach you, because I learn by mistakes. Like, well, that didn't go quite so hot, so I'm going to try this next time. So I think maybe it's a point of view for them. Like, I think you need to challenge them, because Jess Petra's been great with that with me. Just going, just try it. Just see what happens. Push past that negative thought in your mind, because you're more than what you're letting yourself be. Just try it for 2 weeks, reaching out to them, making those contacts and suggesting this, and then see what happens. That got me 3 people in 1 month.
Wow.
So the proof is in the pudding. That's just my opinion. And I think it may be that you just need to rephrase what you're saying and kind of push them a little harder. Don't be afraid they're going to run for the hills. They already signed on. They're not going anywhere. They want to make more money. They want to succeed. They want to do well. It's just building that confidence in them and letting them know it's okay to hear no. Sorry, my child is being insane right now. Grayson, please stop. But it's just building that confidence and them pushing past their own uncomfortable boundaries that they've set for themselves, because they don't know what those people are thinking. They don't know what those prospects have going on in their lives. Maybe they're looking for a hobby. Maybe they're looking for an extra income. Maybe they're looking for something to be passionate about, and this could be it. And then it just benefits your stylist because they get money off of those people. So that's my personal take. I just thought I'd chime in.
Yeah, thank
you.
Yeah.
I think that's I think a lot of people have those same reservations with, I don't think it's just your girls. I just want to say that.
Well, I told them, I was like, when we had our meeting on yesterday, I had told them, I was like, just start talking to people, building communications, relationships with people. I told them, I was like, start adding people to Polished Partners. I was like, everybody I've talked to about the business, I've always asked them if it was okay if I just add them to this group. I was like, and I have not gotten a single no on this yet. So if you get a no, please send me a screenshot.
Yeah.
I was like, I've not had a no on that question. So
Yeah, because that's just a way of like, okay, she's gonna stop talking to me right now if I say yes. No.
right.
But it is, I feel like it's true. And then we have the email that Lauren formulated. If you guys don't know what that is, send me, some of you, I think I sent it to you, and that's maybe what made you sign up. But so we have this magical email that our one of our girls, Lauren, made, Lauren Marco, and it has all the information for the thinkers. Like, there's all different kinds of people that we're reaching out to. Like, some of them want to read every single little detail. Some of them just want to know from you that they're going to have fun doing this. Like, and some of them are like a little like standoffish. I think that learning the different styles of like learning about the different people that we're reaching out to is super helpful. I'm hoping that we're going to do it in an all-team call with Joan at some point, but I might be able to do it with you guys. But here, I'll give you like just a brief overview. This is like stuff that is for coaching, for talking to the people under you and like stuff like that. But I think it really seriously pertains a lot to when you're recruiting. So I think hopefully this will be available to you guys at some point. But actually you might have access to it if you're team leader and above. So once you get there, you might be able to get this. But let me know if you want it. I'll send it to you. Or maybe I'll put it in Team Kid. Okay. Anyway, so like there's relators, there's socializers, there's directors, there's thinkers. So relators are, they ask more than they tell. They listen more than they talk. They reserve their opinions so that they don't offend anyone. And they're less verbal in communication. A thinker is fact and task oriented. They're limited on sharing their feelings. They are more formal and proper because they're a thinker. They want facts, and they're focused on your conversation. They're not like out in space trying to figure out what they're going to do next. Directors. This is me. This is what I figured out I am. They tell more than they ask. That's why I used to be that way. I used to not ask questions. I would just tell you what to do, and I don't do that anymore. I talk more than I listen, but I'm changing that. I have lots of verbal communication. I make empathetic statements. I am very that. Like, I am very that. And I'm blunt and to the point most of the time. But I think then there's the socializer. You're probably two of these, if you think about it. The socializer tells stories, shares personal feelings, has informal speech. Okay, so maybe I am socializer too. Informal speech. I can't spell anything right, and people tell me that all the time. Expresses opinions readily. I do that too. Flexible time perspective, and digresses from conversation. I'm not really sure, honestly, what that means, but I feel like I do that. But anyway, so there's a lot of things that I feel like maybe one day we'll do like a separate training just on this. I can kind of like formulate a training on it. Maybe I'll do it in a group. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But I think that will help a lot too, because when you're talking to certain people, you know what they want to hear. So there's the golden rule, which is, what's the golden rule? Treat others how you want to be treated. And then there's the platinum rule. This is what they said at the team meeting. That's why I was trying to think of what they said. But the platinum rule is treat others how they want to be treated. So when you're talking to someone and you have a certain, like, you want to tell them certain things about the business, maybe that's not what they need to hear. Maybe they want to hear something, like, ask them questions to get the, so if you know what you want to hear from them, like you want to know what their goals are, you want to know like why they would want to be in the business, start asking them questions around that. And then kind of like pull that information out, and then it's easier for you to find out really what they want. Like some people are like, I just need to make money. And then you're like, okay, so what do you need to make money for? Hi, pup. So you're like, what do you need to make money for? Like, what kinds of things? Like, are you good on everything? You just kind of want vacation money, or like, and just kind of go back and forth with them and get them to dream a little bit. And then I swear to you, like, once you know that, you're able then, when they start, because you're going to get them to start, when they start, you're able to bring them back to that and say, okay, like when you were signing up, you said you wanted money for these specific things. I want to help you get there. So how much in a given month or in a given week do you, like, what's your goal to make? So like you can start all of these things before you even get them signed up. And it really like kind of makes them think more. So ask more questions rather than telling people everything about the business. So they're like, I want more information. And you're like, okay, well, what do you want information on? And then, just keep asking questions. Like it's kind of an art form. If you have somebody that's already on the hook, you can kind of reach out to them and start asking them questions. So what have you been thinking? And then just kind of keep asking until you can get on the phone with them. Because that's another thing. You want to be on the phone at some point so that you can hear how they're feeling. I think that's been very helpful for me in talking to a lot of the girls that I signed up in the past 2 months. But yeah, like I was very uncomfortable way back when, but now I'm on the phone all the time and it doesn't bother me as much. So get on the phone with some people, and you can hear their inflection, you can hear their excitement, and they can hear yours. But really, like, ask the questions. Anyway, so do you have any questions for me before we get off? Because I know I said we were going to get off 20 minutes ago, and we're still here, and I'm still talking. See? I told you I am what I knew I was. Does anybody have any questions or input? No? Okay. I think we're going to end if everyone is good. Okay. So that is it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was at least a little bit helpful for you. And if you guys do have questions, you can put them in the Team Kid chat, and me or Lisa will answer you. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being here.
Problem. Anytime.
That was awesome. I'm glad I got to know you a little bit too, because we've never talked.
I know, just an IMs, and that's it. It's hard to get to really know somebody when you're like, it's a text, I could read it different ways.
I know. Yes. Yeah. And that's why it's good to get, face to face with people, and it's good to get on the phone too.
Agree.
All right, cool. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'm going to stop recording.